worked with the projects in plumbing and piping. He's retired now, but he's a full-time resource user. He's a trap liner. Immediate to his right is his wife. She's a teacher. Her name is Christine Santi from Fox.
Mr. Moose, can you turn the microphone towards you, please?
Next, oh, there we go. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll move along to Isla. Isla Disbrow, right? Not Disbrow. Okay, Disbrow. From TCN, she's a traditional land user. Immediately to his right, her right, Robert Spence. He's from TCN. He's a trapper, hunter, resource user, professional fisherman. He's an artist and he does artwork with welding and carving and painting. He's also a traditional land user. Next to him is our elder Flora Beardy from your factory. She just told me to introduce her as elder, but she does trap and hunt. Next to her is Noah Massan, elder Noah Massan from Fox Lake. He's a trapline holder, trapper, hunter, fisherman. He worked on all the projects right from day one, as in various positions. But his main he was an operator. He worked on all the projects. He knows about all the projects I worked on. He's a trapline holder, and his trapline is going to be dearly affected with the gas project. And my name is Ivan Moose. I'm from Fox Lake. To use a old friend of mine's term, I'm a dissident. Actually, we're not dissidents. We're people that care for our people. We're worried about our children and grandchildren. We were taught by our ancestors not to allow people to walk over us. And we've been allowing that too long, and we've been trying to fight it as individual First Nations. But as we learned, as we know, as you all know, we're all from the your factory First Nation, but divided years ago by the government. We are still one nation, and that's what we intend to stand together as, to fight our cause. We are very caring, giving people, but unfortunately our caring and our giving has been taken advantage of by projects that are destroying our lands and all the resources we have with no benefits to our people whatsoever. So basically what we're here to do is we come here to tell you what we feel from our hearts, which is the truth. That you have to know what is being done to our land is not what we want. About the project, the bike, or whatever project it is. Our people are suffering very bad. I know half these people that sit here have not been up to our area. They haven't seen the conditions we live, or the condition of our lands or homes or whatever. You know, they sit here and they're told things by people that work for them who have no idea of how we live, how we're being destroyed by these projects. So we're just here to tell you the truth. We're telling the other side of the coin. Enough lies, time for truth. Sorry to say that, but it's how it is. Thank you.
At this time, we'll do the affirmations. Mr. Chair.
Affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Yes.
State your full name for the record.
My name is Noah Massan.
Do you affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your full name for the record, please.
Laura Beardy.
Do you affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
State your full name for the record, please.
Robert James Spence.
affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Please state your full name for the record.
Ayla Disbrow.
Do you affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I will.
Please state your full name for the record, please.
Christine Helen Sun.
Do you affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes,
Please state your full name for the record, please.
James Masson.
Do you affirm that the evidence you shall give this hearing will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do, I will.
State your full name.
Ivan Michael Moose.
Thank you.
Monsieur le Président, just as an opening remark to the PowerPoint, and I have to admit I'm a glorified clicker of this PowerPoint presentation. So my comments are very brief to start, which is that this PowerPoint will be presented in essentially 3 timeframes to guide the discussion on socioeconomic impacts and benefits to the communities and the people. And we're going to discuss things not in a linear fashion. We're actually going to start with the present. We're going to talk about the current state within the 3 communities that the panel members represent. We're going to talk a bit about the past, but we're not going to dwell on the past. We're going to speak about it in terms of context, and then turn to the future and focus on the future and benefits and impacts in that time frame. And with that, we'll start with just a brief introduction to each of the communities. Now, Fox Lake Cree Nation, it says here, is over 1,000 kilometers north of Winnipeg and has a population of approximately 1,000 members living in Gillam and Bird. And Mr. Moose, can you confirm that that's correct?
I was gonna check on that and I forgot. We'll have to go with that, I guess.
Does it sound right to you?
That sounds right.
Okay, thank you. And York Factory First Nation, this question is for you, Ms. Beardy, is approximately 1,000 kilometers north of Winnipeg on the southeast shore of Split Lake and has a population of roughly 500 people and was relocated from Hudson's Bay Coast to the current location at York Landing in 1957. Is that right?
Sounds right.
Your mic, please.
That sounds right.
Thank you.
And Tatasquiac Cree Nation, also known as Split Lake, Ms. Disbrow is located on the north shore of the Nelson River, approximately 900 kilometers north of Winnipeg. And there's an on-reserve population of about 2,200 people with another 1,100 off-reserve. Is that correct?
And that's more on reserve.
And these are the official numbers that we've taken from INAC website, but roughly around that. Tatasquiac or TCN and War Lake have formed a partnership for the purposes of Kiosk, which is known as the Cree Nation Partners. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And the next slide here is a picture of you yesterday, the panel members. And this is an opportunity at this time, I think I'd like to ask you to take the opportunity to explain to the board why it is that you're here, why it is that you're speaking on this issue. And so maybe we'll start with Mr. Moose. I know you've given us some of your introductory comments, but if you could start leading this discussion and we'll proceed to the other panel members.
Good morning again. I got involved in this a little while ago. To answer like why I'm here, I've been working with the project too from my First Nation, but I hadn't seen any movement forward to regarding any benefits of any kind to our First Nation, or Fox Lake Creek, or other First Nations. And it hurts to see all the damage being done concerning our land and our people. And I decided it's time to start speaking up against it. I've been for it. I've signed agreements on a premise that we were going to get, and promised that we were supposed to get benefits, which we haven't received to date. There have been a lot of promises. I have loads of papers sitting on my home. Never have promises that never panned out. So I thought, as my grandparents used to say, you got to fight for your land. They did foresee what was coming. We were told, we were warned earlier, long ago. Now we're here as a group. Because we got to start standing as a nation again, as we were, to fight for what is ours, our land, our people, and our children, and our grandchildren. And we want to speak as one rather than separately. We want to speak as one unit. That's how we intend to speak, as a unit, for our people, for people that can't speak for themselves, for people that are being taken advantage of.
Thank you, Mr. Moose. Mr. Masson? Mr. Jack Masson?
Yeah, Chapter Simon. Well, I was raised in Gillam and all that area there. And so, well, the rivers and the river is always destroyed already. And we used to call it Nelson River Kistasibi. Which means the Great River. And now it used to look after everything that is in that river. But now we can't even do anything about it because it's been controlled with all these dams that are built. They used to that river used to control by itself. It used to look after all the fish and whatever that was in that water, and even our land. And now it's just a meek old river now. It's because it's controlled by human. And I don't know, it's just that river is just so dirty that you can't even see the bottom. Before you could even see we could see the bottom of that river. But now we can't even see anything. So and I've been asking these questions, and we were in meetings. How dirty is that river? What's the turbidity on that river? But nobody ever mentioned how dirty that water is. And it's been, I don't know how long we've been having these meetings. And now they're starting to build a couple more dams. And I asked another question. I said, instead of building these two dams, why don't they put higher or bigger generators so they can generate more power that they want for these two dams that are building? But they give me no answer. The only answer they gave me was that they need more water. And I told them, the water, you can see the spillway. The water is always just wide open, those spillways in the summertime. And why would they need more water when just bigger generators on those, take the small ones out of there? Bigger generators because you need more power? Well, no answer on that. and all these, the forest, it's just, yeah, I was been there, well, what, 72 years, I was just, the forest is just is so, I can't even see what it was before. I mean, just before it was nice. Yeah, that's where we had our food from. Now, there was the thing about the hydro, they're putting our hydro, our bills higher just so they can destroy that water, that river, more we're paying, they're taking money off us to destroy the water, the river again. And it just can't, yeah, I've been, and they're putting I got the trap line there, they're putting a 5-pole-3 right through my trap line. And they already got a transmission line going from Gillum to Churchill right through my line. Now they're going to have it destroyed again. So it just don't seem right for me. And like I said, I was born and raised right around that area. But I don't know if people have ever been in the bush or have you ever been in the water or what, you know how the bush is. And I don't know how many of you people have ever been in the forest and go hunting or trapping or that's why I'm here. I have to say something about it. So we've been fighting over this for the last, I don't know, at least 20, 30 years now. Before the hydro came in there, they didn't even say anything about it. They just destroyed the whole thing. Flooded the whole area with the trees underneath. Now all the trees are coming back up. We just can't, well, that's all I have to say. I mean, I just can't, I don't know, it's up to you nowadays.
Thank you, Mr. Hassan. And we'll have an opportunity to come back to some of those things in more detail and with some images that you've shared. Ms. Hassan?
Hello. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to speak on behalf of not just ourselves, but our children, our grandchildren, and those people that are gone home ahead of us. Why we are here and why we speak. We are here to tell you the truth. We're going to speak honestly from our hearts so that try to make you understand on why this means so much to us. I have watched some of the most beautiful land being destroyed for the purposes of power. Most of it has been done without any consultation, but now there is some consultation to a certain point, and that part is good. I hope to make you understand, or we hope to make you understand, what it means to us to live in harmony. The water was given to us years, a long time ago, and years ago. Water was clean, and it was flowing, and it was filled with fish and other things that we could eat. Today, we've already heard how dirty, how thick the water is. Fish are dying. Us Mesquite is the same thing. They're plowing through, which I have to think, and I believe I may be right, that the corridors that they're making for the Bipole 3 are much too wide. I believe that if they would have done further study on more basic ways to help save and preserve what we have, they would have come up with something better instead of the corridors that they have running through all our forests. They're going in every direction now. Before it was beautiful to go for a ride from the Gillam through Fox Lake Reserve onto Kanawapa. All the land that had been used by our forefathers. It was beautiful to see. You know, see wolves, animals, deer, birds, you name it. And now you can't even go that far. Kanawapa, which was a traditional site for the land resource users, we can't even go there anymore without having to go through security and stuff. And when we were negotiating, we were going to meetings to help the resource users, we asked, build us a road so we can use it at any time. Because for us to go hunting and trapping and fishing, it's not set by the sun, it's by everything else throughout the day. Our lives are not controlled by a clock. You do things as you see fit and as they are needed. Manitoba Hydro told us that it was too expensive to build a road. Then they said you would have no problems getting to and from Kanawapa. And then it came to only a certain time you have to be piloted across. Now people try to go there, they can't even go there. Not speaking from honest. A friend of mine tried to go to Kanawapa. He's a land resource user. They don't let him go through. So tell him to come back at a certain time. It's not the way our lives are run. Our forest, it's like a maze. You know the things that show on computer, TV, the levers, things that people come and do in the dead of night, aliens or whatever they're called. Well, when you get up in a plane and you look down, that's what the Gillam area looks like. We've got corridors this way, that way, in every direction you can think of. It's really in a sad state. I think there must be alternative ways for Manitoba Hydro to use in this day and age in order to get that power that they need to sell to the United States. I believe this group was meant to be. I'd never heard of her. I'd never heard of Robert. And they didn't know who we were. And yet yesterday when we sat down, all the pieces started to click together. That was a wonderful feeling. But right now, I have so much on my mind and so much to say. I can only give you a little bits and pieces in order to put lots on the table. But hopefully we'll have some more time after. And I don't want to take all the time away from the rest of the group. So hopefully we'll have time to share some more later. But thank you, Carol, again for having me.
Thank you, Ms. Masson. Ms. Dispro, on this picture, there's actually a caption and it says, and these are your words, "This is not even a choice. We are supposed to speak for them." Can you explain to us why you're here and why you're speaking?
I never plan my months in advance or weeks. I go day by day because we're not in control of our destiny, of our days. And to me, my path has led me here because we have to speak for our children, Mother Earth, because we're destroying it. We're destroying what was beautiful that was given to us. And we have to start speaking for all creatures. That's what I meant by that.
Thank you. Mr. Spence?
Thank you. I thank the Creator today for leading us to this point in time today, for bringing us here. Es que no era nuestra bebida meta, había sumustara. Es visto en esta llegada que sabe. Animatabra. We appreciate the time that the Public Utility Board is giving us here today to come and speak about the truth that affect us. It's hard to come up here and sit, to speak the truth, especially when it's so intimidating to be sitting around a bunch of people you've never met in your life. But here, and then what, Nina? We're the first people, the people of the land. Our grandfathers are here. They're all around us. They're behind us. They're with us here today. They're in this room. So whatever we say, by swearing us in, by not swearing us in, we're here to tell the truth. The only truth. I come here today because I come here to speak. On behalf of my children, my grandchildren. Kaya hani na beat sumanagas kena Hydro. We come here to speak the truth about the destruction that the Manitoba Hydro causes on our environment, on our being, and on the land and the water, the trees, the animals, the birds, everything living on this planet. We hold dearly and sacred in our hearts. My umbilical cord is tied to the land that we walk on every day. I come here to speak the truth that what Manitoba Hydro is doing is killing our mother. Every day we watch what Manitoba Hydro is doing. You go out and you watch your mother die of cancer every day. You watch her die. Over and over and over and over again. Every day you watch her die. When I'm going to Vegas, I'm going to our grandfathers never taught us to use the land the way Manitoba Hydro uses.
they were never taught us to destroy it. We were taught to respect it. Existenta más Dios ya. But ano sabi apyan, manamina sunyawas tinyodas to be apyan yoda. I didn't come here for the sake of speaking on behalf of the almighty dollar. The people here who are here to question me today are here to question me because of the fact that they are led by the almighty dollar. They're paid, they're gonna be paid, they're paid already to ask the questions that they're gonna ask. The difference between them is the feeling we have for the land and the money they make. That's what the difference is. They're paid to do what they do. We're not. We're real. We're from the land. Aski. And then what me lang. Wangiman and then Tato Isagaw, oh, Baktaman. Bisimas tahimaw de Aski. Nipi. I can't stand to see the land, water, the land floating down the river. I can't stand to see the areas that I used to play as a kid disappearing or all gone already. The places my grandfather took me to fish, where there was plentiful amount of fish, there was a lot of fish back then. There was a lot. There was weed beds. There was vegetation all over the lake. There was ducks, geese, moose, caribou, everything you can imagine, muskrats, beaver. Today you're hard pressed to find any of that along that whole river system. That's everything that we hold so dear is dying all around us. It's so easy for a white man to pick up and move whenever he wants because his roots are not tied to the earth as tightly as it is for us, our people, and then what the people of the land. It's easy for you to pick up and move and go wherever you want. You have no connection to this earth the way we have. The respect we have, you'll never understand for this earth. So when I speak while we're here, you have a lifetime. I guess not. I think not. I'm 44 years old, and I'm only allowed so many minutes to speak. Which is not fair. But it's just the way it goes, I guess. So with that, I'll pass the mic over to Albert.
Albert Beardy, can you share with us why you're here and why you're speaking?
Thanks everybody. I'm really glad to be here. Thank you for giving us the time to come and talk about our concerns. The Aboriginal people are known as keepers of the land. But a lot of times we are not consulted when projects go on, and that's where things start to go wrong. If we were consulted, we would be able to work together. But today there is some consultation, which is a good thing. But in the past, this hasn't happened. So how can we help look after the land with these projects when we are not even considered? We've seen so much damage. Every day, Usky Earth cries because of the damage that's being done to her. Every day. And we see this in our communities, the damage that is happening. So we as Aboriginal people are here, this group is here to come and share these concerns And we have to speak for our people that can't speak for themselves. We have to speak for the animals, the birds, the fish, every living thing on earth. Because we believe that everything is connected. And one thing is damaged, it throws the balance off totally. So how do we fix that? Do we just keep going on, damaging Mother Earth and not fixing anything? We're going to talk a bit about the future. What will our future generations have? Today the elders say, teach the youth how to live off the land. Teach them how to do this. Teach them our old teachings, our traditions. Because even though they go to school and they get and they graduate, a lot of them are unable to get jobs. So where do they go? They go to social assistance and they end up going down the wrong path. But at least if they're taught how to live off the land, then they can survive the way our people did for thousands of years. And you know, this came from when traditional knowledge has kept the Aboriginal people survived. They've survived through that, and it's been passed down from generation to generation. And this Manitoba Hydro talks about traditional knowledge and working closer with the Aboriginal people. I don't see very much of that happening. I see Western science taking over. And yet it can work if we work together. It can happen. And we are in a partnership and we should be working towards that so that we can work together. But in the past, the chief that was at York Factory, late Abraham Verdi, he spoke about this happening. Now, how did he know what was going to happen in the future? They all lived in the Hudson Bay area, York Factory, Cascademayo. They didn't go to any cities or anywhere to see what else is going on around the country. But how did they know, how did those elders know that this was going to happen to our earth? I often wonder about that, you know. But today with all the, and then for our youth, we're going to talk about the future. I think this is something that we really, really have to look at, because how will they survive? How will our future generations survive? So I think further down the presentation we'll have more time to talk about different things. But that is why I am here too, is to present these concerns and to see what we can do about them, to make sure that the panel hears what is going on. And like we said, we are going to speak the truth. Thanks.
Thank you, Elder Beardy. Mr. Nolan Sapp?
I like to thank public city board first I'm here to speak out what I want to see in the past. And I want to thank all the people around here and the people upstairs again and their own areas. Good morning to you guys. I seen my town started was from way back. I used to listen to the elders. When Kelsey first come, the elders, when they were talking about, I said, we can buy God, they'll be sheeping now. They're gonna block the river, they said. And the elders in my community thought Nelson River was gonna be real dry, so there'd be no fish for us. On our road to Mescanana, they used to say, how are we gonna paddle with a postman water? That's a vision they seen. They thought that the river would be no water out there. That's why I'm here to speak out. they used to tell us, "Kiwagati be Moses taye." The church are going to be carrying it on, because they're not there no more with us. Cement. Because what I noticed, like they used to say, our plate in our community, there were a lot of food around our community before Manitoba Hydro come to our community. Because I grew up in Gillum to see what's going on. And then the max, a couple of elders used to say, "When you go to Chagos, that's not a word. Our river is getting shorter." I used to wonder what they're talking about. Now I understood. I said, I work in these dams to see what's going on now. Just a minute. In my community, there's 3 dams. Kettle is the first, Chelsea was the first on that block. Now it's Kettle, Long Spokes, and Limestone. They're just like basins. The fish can't come up no more. And some of the elders used to tell me, as a one I get in that, we see again, like the one they told me, when we eat, look, it's getting further. Our fridge is just getting further by Manitoba Hydro. They're pushing us away from our community. There used to be a lot of food right there. There was berries, fish, you name it. Even cattle used to walk to our community. I used to see my mom open the window to shoot a caribou, you know. Our tea fish was just outside. Now we can't even do that in our community. Manitoba Hydro got a lot of bylaws. Everything coming from the city. The people that work for Manitoba Hydro, we live in the city, in the town of bylaws now. Our First Nation people can't even have dogs. That's how I look at it. And it's okay for Manitoba Hydro to let their dogs run around in the night. Our dogs can't do that. Then you gotta buy license and everything. All Hydro thinks about it is, you know, they don't see us, our feeling. You see what's going on in this. My goat here, I say my goat. And then the feelings they get through, that's a feeling I get through. I do just look at numbers, that's all. They're like one elder told me, you know, you see those old faces, he told me. One elder, but he's not with us no more. The Morses, when they raised, they got this thing here, they said. Manitoba Hydro got to 600 sides of the head. They don't want to listen to the people that live over there. Then you see a dollar sign at the end of that thing, the vision. That's a vision I see when this old guy was telling me. That's why I'm here to speak out. To carry it on, they said, you guys are the ones that are going to get people more than tired. They tell us that you guys are going to keep carrying it on. Like my chief and council, they don't live in our town. My cousin George lives in Thompson. He never see what's going on in our community. So was our chief. He's from Churchill. He doesn't even have a clue what's going on. You know, he's got to be right in there to see what's going on in my community. That's all I want to say for now. But thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Masson. On this next slide, this is an excerpt from the CC proceeding, and an elder who's not here today, who's from the Sichuasi Cree Nation. And this is about a customary law. And Elder Beardy, could you share with us your understanding of this particular customary law and how it applies to what we're doing here today?
I'll read the quote.
Your mic, please.
I'll read the quote. One of our customary laws that we are exercising today is the Winnipeg. We come here and exercise the art of listening in order to create understanding amongst ourselves. We are exercising our customary law today. The Winnipeg means that you're making room for, by listening, to gather more knowledge and information. And this is what we're doing here today.
Thank you. Now we're going to move to some of the images that represent the present housing, health, and way of life. And the first relates to travel. Can you
If you hang on for a second, Ms. Scott, please.
So I'm gonna turn it on. I'm gonna turn it on.
Joelle, do you want to pause this?